We are not going anywhere. This is our country. We are here to stay. We are settlers. And also, I would like to point out that some people said, what about the crucifix on the English flag? And it's Crusader history. Well, I responded, if you place a white flag with just England written on that flag, there is no reason in Sharia Islamic law why that would be forbidden. So you are permitted to place a white flag with England written on it without the crucifix.
So this Muslim imam living in England says that they Muslims are not immigrants, rather they are settlers. Settlers, they have come to stay and outbreed the English people and replace them in the near future. Very soon, the entire demographic of England will look like them and they will become the new natives. He went a step further to demand that the cross in the English flag be scrapped. The cross should be removed from that flag because we are Muslims and that cross is extremely Islamophobic. He says you can just have a plain white rag, a plain white piece of cloth with England written on it. But that cross, it has to go. Now, you might think that this is a joke. You might think that he is just kidding, or you might think that, nobody is going to take him seriously. And that is where you are wrongly mistaken. Okay, you are sorely mistaken because this guy is in earnest. He couldn't be more serious.
So the Muslims in England are calling for the removal of the sign of the cross in England flag. They say it is not supposed to be there, that they can put any other thing there. They can even write England in the middle. But you see, that sign of the cross, it is not supposed to be there because number one, it represents Christianity, and number two, it also represents the Crusaders. For those of you who don't know who the Crusaders are, they are people who stood up and fought for the Christian faith back then when Prophet Muhammad and his people were trying to invade different countries. So when they invaded countries that today as Muslim countries, they were not Muslim countries before this. Iran, Syria, they were not Muslim country. So when they were trying to invade and they wanted to capture Jerusalem, which is like the major focus, it was these Crusaders that stood up and fought against them. And so the Muslims in England are saying that they do not want that cross in the middle. But yet in Saudi Arabia flag, they have a sword and then they have an inscription in Arabic which says there is no God but Allah and Prophet Muhammad is a messenger of God or of Allah. Now they have that inscription and they also have sword, because that is basically how they invaded all these countries and make them an Islamic nation. And they don't have a problem with the Saudi Arabia flag. But the England flag that has the sign of the cross, they are now calling on the England government to change that sign of the cross from the flag.
Now, I'm not even concerned about the inscriptions these guys have on their flags, okay? They have managed to conquer Afghanistan, Iran, Syria, Yemen, and so many of these other countries. So what they choose to inscribe or design on those flags shouldn't be any of your worries. It is not my worry. Now, what should be your worry is the fact that these guys are demanding that you change your flag for them in your own country. They are multiplying at exponential rate. And if you laugh it off as ridiculous today, mark my words, by 2035, with Muslims projected at 13 to 17% of the UK population, mind you, this number was just 6.5% in 2021, just 4 years ago. You will soon see council meetings in Bradford or Tower Hamlets debating inclusive flag variants while native Brits clutch pearls from the back row. The man isn't imploring or requesting for anything, and even if he is, the English will be fools to oblige people like him. He is dictating terms. He is invoking Sharia as if it is already the law of the land, as if it is the law in England, or maybe it is, because some time ago I heard about the demand for Sharia law in the UK. I remember one of their liberal white politicians, the Minister of Courts, a woman seriously infected with suicidal empathy. Her name is Sarah Sackman, and she was one of those white liberal females, white liberal folks, demanding that Sharia courts should be established in the United Kingdom. She cited religious tolerance as the basis for her demands. So maybe they have Sharia law now in the UK. Maybe that is why the Muslims are so bold. These guys are dominating the UK. We saw them totally dominate Rotherham. This is exactly what they did in Rotherham. This is the exact playbook. Arrive, multiply, demand, and then dominate. Currently, you have over 85 Sharia courts in the UK. I know the political correct politicians are just going to pretend that these Sharia courts are not Sharia courts, that they are just Sharia councils, but in reality and in practicality, these are indeed Sharia courts because they do the job of Sharia courts, which is to carry out and facilitate Islamic law and Islamic rulings. There are over 2,000 recorded mosques in the UK. What about those that we don't know about? I'm sure it is more than 2,000. Now, the UK is in fact an Islamic caliphate in the making. The leaders and the mayor of several districts and cities in the UK are Muslims. This should alarm natives of the United Kingdom. When did England become a land of Muslims? I don't know. To the extent that they are calling themselves settlers. England is ours. No, it is not. It is not yours. England isn't yours. It is the culmination of Anglo-Saxon grit, Norman steel, and Tudor resolve. At least I watched the movies and I read the history books, forged in the blood of Agincourt and the Blades. You didn't even build the NHS, nor the Spitfire. You did nothing for this great country. You just hopped on a dinghy or a visa queue and declared squatters' rights. And I don't know why the UK hasn't deported you ingrates yet. You ingrates who cannot stomach their culture and their heritage. These guys should be told to assimilate or get out. I don't know what the UK people is waiting for. The St. George's Cross predates the Crusades by centuries, okay? It is the banner of Edward the Confessor, patron of a Christian kingdom that stood against Viking paganism and Ottoman Islamic shadows. It is a symbol of great national pride, something you should cherish. But these Muslims living in England are brazenly demanding that it be discarded. Just go with a plain white rag. Maybe I can accept that as a Muslim. You have to please me. I am Muslim. It is the brazen audacity for me. These people are bold. They are boldly testing how far they can take this, how far they can push and mold the spineless elites and the spineless and stupid English leaders. It is highly disappointing. And make no mistake, this rhetoric isn't isolated. It is the soundtrack of many Muslims in the West, not just the UK. Their population has ballooned exponentially since arrival, okay? They are concentrated in urban enclaves where Sharia patrols roam the streets and halal-only schools multiply. Their demands keep escalating. It keeps getting bigger and bigger. And the UK keep granting every one of their demands. They said, we want prayer rooms in pubs. Check, they got it. You now have blasphemy laws for offensive cartoons pushed in public. You have no-go zones in Luton, where police admit that parallel legal systems are at work. You have 85 plus Sharia courts dispensing justice that sidelines women and non-Muslims in the United Kingdom. These guys dream of a day when they will fly the flag of Islam over Downing Street, okay? It is the Ummah's end game. Hijrah, which is migration for conquest, then Dawah, which is proselytizing, that is converting non-Muslims, then Dhimmi, which is subjugation of non-believers, that is non-Muslims. All this is coming to actualization as Kestama chants, diversity is our strength, ignoring how the 2025 migrant hotel riots and the flag backlash clearly signals that diversity without assimilation does not work. This nonsense you saw from this particular Muslim scholar only happens in places with weak leadership, where borders are sieves and symbols of national pride and heritage are merely suggestions. This nonsense only happens, it only thrives where native patriots who love their country are shamed and demonized as bigots, but invaders who claim to be settlers are emboldened and even encouraged. In a few years, you might even see actual flag redesign committees who will produce a plain white rag as the English flag. It is coming. It is going to happen unless you fight back and you fight back hard. Start demanding mass deportations for illegals and agitators, even if they are legal. If they won't respect your laws and your symbols, if they are agitating for something non-British, non-English, send them home. There are millions of visa overstays. Start there. Demand mandatory assimilation oath, okay? Everybody must swear by the king, salute the cross, or get shipped out immediately. And most importantly, guys, I want you to take this very importantly. Revive Christian heritage education. Make schools teach Agincourt, not just diversity workshops. And also fly that St. George's Cross very high, from Land's End to Berwick. Let it be the middle finger to every invader with a Sharia wish list. England is your homeland. You can either defend it, make it English again, or watch it get rebranded. It is up to you, English people.
I kept going because I wanted to speak with some more of the elders here to see if they could share their story about coming here from Somalia and how they've seen the rise firsthand. However,
Hello.
none of them spoke English.
How are you? Can I ask any of you guys some questions? No? Speak English?
English no.
No? Do any of you speak English?
They are not assimilating, guys. Gosh, they are not assimilating. Countries like Sweden had to mandate preschool for their kids to force Swedish language uptake, but yet it never worked. So, Donald Trump, how dare you tell everybody what we already know? You should be embarrassed at yourself for not pretending that Somalia is a paradise. So, that is me. I called out Donald Trump. I destroyed him for spreading these lies about Somalia. And I hope you guys agree with me. Anyway, guys, these are my thoughts and my opinions. Please feel free to share yours in the comment section below, but do so respectfully. Also, if you're not subscribed to this channel, honestly, I don't know what you're waiting for. Subscribe to the channel. Like and share this video to keep people informed, and consider joining my membership or supporting the channel in any way that you can. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to catch you on the next one. For now, peace.